are the Kitchen Chronicles. Okay. Get ready with me and yap. Not even yap. Vent sash. Thank you. At least she's a cutie patootie. Look at my cutie patootie. Celsius, please sponsor me, because you guys get me through it. Life is about experience. I wrote it down. I think it was Stephen Colbert. I saw a video. No, I think it was Stephen Colbert. He said, I have learned to love the thing that I most wish had not happened, because what punishments of God are not gifts. It is a gift to exist, and with existence comes suffering. There's no escaping that. If you're grateful for your life, you have to be grateful for all of it. You can't pick and choose what you're grateful for. I think that obviously everybody wants to be happy all the time, but that's not reality. Suffering is just as much a part of the human experience as joy and love and all the good things. I think that we wouldn't be able to recognize the good things if bad things didn't happen to us, because then we would just take all the good things for granted. You would just think that's how life is supposed to be. And I always say this, that right now it doesn't make sense, you know, whenever you're going through some shit, it doesn't make sense in the moment. Like, you can't see how this makes sense, you know, it doesn't feel good. Even if it's not the end of the world, sometimes it feels like it's the end of the world. When bad shit happens, you're like, you know, you're wondering, you're like, why did this happen to me? Why is this happening? What's going on? I hate my life, blah, 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 whatever. And you really can't understand why it's happening to you, you know? You go, what? Why is this happening to me? What the fuck is going on? I don't deserve this. Or however you feel. And we take it so personal. Take it like it's literally the end of the world. Then when you look back, or at least when I look back on all the bad things that happened to me, or all the times in my life that were difficult, and in the moment I didn't have clarity on how the situation was gonna work out, the significance of those events happening to me, you don't see that in the moment. In the moment, you just feel, I don't want to say pain, but you feel the frustration, the stress, sadness, anger, whatever, all these, I'm not going to say negative emotions, because we have to feel those as humans. And it's normal to feel those things, and it's valid to feel those things. But it's the emotions that we aren't as proud of. And then once the situation passes, like it always does, and when I remember that, like I look back on the timeline of my life and I think about the situations or problems or experiences that I had, how heavy they felt, and how I didn't see, I guess, like the light at the end of the tunnel, or I didn't see how there was a solution. I couldn't see myself on the other side of that. But I feel like I always have, I'm not gonna lie, when shit happens to me, I'll cry it out. And sometimes you have to. Well, at least for me, I feel like I'm very emotional. I'm very sensitive for sure. But I have to cry it out sometimes, because I feel like that's my release, you know? And I just allow myself to feel the frustration, to feel, I'm not going to say necessarily sadness, but all those feelings. And I release it, and then I feel like once I release it, Then I see a little bit of clarity, or at least my energy is like reset a little, that then I can be optimistic again, or at least realistic, and I can figure out a plan. Once everything is worked out or the situation is over, then I can look back, and I'm peeling, by the way. I've got sunburn, look at that. Then I can look back and I'm like, oh, I did that. I got through it. Did I scream? Did I cry? Did I feel frustration? Did I feel all these things? Yeah, sure. Did I die? No. I'm still here. Did I learn something? Yes. Always. There's always a lesson. And sometimes if it feels like there's not a lesson, then maybe the lesson is that you need to trust yourself, because you've got yourself to where you are now, and it's okay to make mistakes. Maybe the lesson is that you're strong enough to get through those things. It never fucking makes sense in the moment. I promise you that. It never makes sense. No one has ever had a bad thing happen to them and immediately they're like, this is happening for a reason. This is supposed to happen. No one feels that in the moment, but when you look back, you realize, if that never happened, then I wouldn't have done XYZ. I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have learned this. I would not be who I am today if things didn't happen to me. Because that's what life is about. It's about fucking experience and learning and growing. How can you grow if you're not put in a position where you have to make better choices? It is scary a lot of the time. And I think a lot of people, I'm not going to say pretend, because I'm sure there's people out there that are not scared about anything. Or they have such confidence in themselves that they know everything's going to work out. And sometimes I have to like reshape my mindset, because I do feel like that a lot of the time, you know? I feel not just like, not in a cocky way, but I feel confident. I'm peeling. So if you see my skin peeling, just ignore that. But I feel like with the things that I've been through and the experiences that I've had, I know no matter how I feel in the moment, that I'm gonna come out of it stronger. There's gonna be some level of growth. There's gonna be something that I learned. And I think the biggest thing really is when I'm put in positions where I don't feel good, I think about how I feel and I like remember that, you know? Like I take a second, I'm like, okay, this is how I feel. I'm gonna allow myself to feel this way. And once I'm out of this situation, once I fix my problem, once I make it out to the other side of this and, you know, I'm good, then I remember how I felt in that moment and I make different choices to never have to feel like that again. That's important. That's a big part of growth too, where it's not just being strong enough or confident enough in yourself that you know you can get yourself out of things or get through things rather, but that you can trust yourself enough that you're not going to put yourself in the same position. You're not going to trust somebody that keeps hurting you, right? That hurts you. They hurt you once, you're like, okay, you hurt me, I'm not going to let you do this again. So why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself in positions? And I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes. And that looks crazy, guys. I'm literally burnt. But, you know, you make mistakes, but you have to make mistakes. And also, they're called mistakes for a reason. They're called accidents. They're called mistakes for a reason. It's not like you purposely did things to fuck yourself up. Maybe if you're self-sabotaging, like unintentionally. But I think the greatest thing you can do is just fucking learn from it and keep going. When it feels like the world's ending, it's like, what are you gonna do, give up? If I gave up, who would I be? So many times where I felt like giving up, I'm not gonna deny that. Or I think like the moments that I had where I was like, you know what? That would have been the time to give up. And this is what's gonna like stop me from moving forward. No matter how big the issue is, or like at least how big it feels. There was way worse shit that happened to me. I did a lot more with a lot less. So who the fuck am I to let a little thing like this stop me? Just think about my life. I do reflect a lot. I reflect a lot more than I should, maybe. I would go, obviously I don't want to go through these things again, but I would go through everything I experienced again to be who I am now. As easy as it is, like, to compare your life to other people, obviously everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own experiences, and your life is tailored to you. There's gonna be people that align with you, and maybe you go through the same things, or they understand that, but hi, no attention. But like, your life is your life for a reason. You have to go through these things. No one can go through these things for you. No one can learn these lessons for you. Even when it's like, this feels like the stupidest fucking lessons. Yeah, your life is tailored to you. Your experiences are tailored to you. They're meant for you. People say trust the process. Trust the fucking process. Okay? It is scary sometimes. I think the part that's scary is just like the uncertainty. You know? The uncertainty of not knowing what comes next. But then also, like, if you knew everything that was gonna fucking happen, then it's like you're playing a video game, right? If you get a video game, new video game, if you knew the whole storyline, you don't want to play. Knew everything that was gonna happen, like, you knew the whole storyline of a video game, a book, a movie. You're not gonna watch it, right? You're not gonna read it. You're not gonna play the game. So that's boring. Even the people that seem like they have it all together, I'm not saying they don't have it together, I'm just saying the people that seem like they have their life all planned out, there's always a level of uncertainty. Yeah, they are probably more well prepared than most, but there's still always a level of uncertainty, you know? So it doesn't matter how much, not that it doesn't matter, but I'm saying regardless of how much you plan out your life or anything, there's always a level of uncertainty. So I don't think you should let that stop you from doing what you want to do or being who you want to be. And definitely don't give up. Like, you can't give up. Like, how are you gonna go through all the shit that you've gone through and just give up? I owe it to the past versions of myself, the ones that got me to where I am now. I owe it to everybody that's ever fucking supported me or helped me in any way. And I owe it to future me. And not to like yap like that, you know? And not to be like all boo-hoo, boo-hoo, my fucking life. It's not like that. There's versions of me that arguably had it better than me. There's versions of me that had it worse than me, than like my current self. But I don't know. I'm just trying to be real. I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be honest about how I feel. And I guess just shared that. I think too, because sometimes it gets like really, I don't want to say lonely, because I'm very lucky that I have a good support system. I'm okay, I will be okay, all these things. But I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to feel lonely, even when you have a good support system. I think because when you overthink things or you get stuck in your head, it feels very isolating. And it's not that people don't understand, it's just, you know, like, obviously it's your experience, it's your perspective. You have like past experiences that affect your beliefs, and so sometimes your beliefs and someone else's, they can't fully understand. But regardless, it gets lonely. I'm like, maybe I should document this, you know, because there's a lot of the times that I didn't document things, and I think I suppressed things, and then I don't remember. So future me, we made it through this. Yet another thing. We made it through it again. Are we surprised? Not really. Did it suck a little? Sure. But does it just further prove that we can get through anything? Maybe not everything, but a lot of things for sure. And I trust that I will make better choices moving forward. I hope for myself. There's a lot of things too, like in my personal life, that I've been doing better, that I'm not going to talk about, at least not now, because it's kind of early for that, or maybe ever, I don't know. But I think too, when you make mistakes or when shit's tough, you have to remember and like celebrate the good things that you've achieved. You know, it's not all bad. It's really not all bad, even when it feels like it. I promise. I really promise. It's not all bad. And I think having gratitude for the things in life that are good is so important, especially when shit feels like it's falling apart, you know? But hey, shit falls apart so that it can get rebuilt. Like, sometimes you can't make something better unless you like completely tear that shit down. It's like a house with a bad foundation. You can't build on top of the bad foundation and then expect to have like a solid, nice house, you know? You have to tear that shit down, rebuild the foundation nice and strong, and then you can make your house all nice and cute and pretty and stable. The silence is so loud. I don't really know what to do with my hair because I have like kind of fucked up layers right now. But let's see. And I don't want to like recut my layers because I feel like I do that every couple months. I like recut my layers, I trim my layers, and then I get annoyed for having layers. But then like this happens. I have like a weird bang. Weird curtain bang. Like, why is your hair choppy ass layers? choppy layers. It's fine. Dude, that's insane. Okay. Anyways, those are my thoughts for today, I guess. Thank you for listening. And hopefully I have something more positive to say next time.